It's hard to explain to an individual just the disconnect from your visual side to the mental side of what you're focused on and what you're seeing as it relates to the real world. So it can be a very, very confusing mental challenge to package this information up into something that really makes sense.
The first thing that will kind of get you, it just doesn't feel right. Your mind's telling you things aren't right. It probably seems like it's 10 to 12 seconds, but I'm sure it's all happening in about a half a second.
And next thing I look up and the black's on the top and the white's on the bottom of the gyro. And had no physical sensation whatsoever that I was inverted. And of course, a microsecond of disbelief and then about 2 seconds of terror, including the correction. I don't know, it made you feel pretty small because you were just, there and along for the ride, so.
When something happens to you, and given enough time, you're going to end up in an unusual attitude or an upset. That's not the time to be learning. I don't know that my experiences with spatial disorientation, vertigo on night flights, vertigo on weather flights, necessarily taught me anything other than that training's important and you have to be careful.
The average pilot will always feel, and rightfully so, that he can handle any situation and will always rise to the occasion. But statistics and research show something totally different. The pilot will revert back to his training. And the pilots that are trained, it becomes second nature, it becomes instinctive, and the results are always better than the pilot who has to stop and try to figure it out or give it his best attempt.
If your training and your flying career has kind of kept you in the center of the envelope, you may not have really what you need to save the airplane should you find yourself at the edge.
The thing about our unusual attitude training is that it directly affects the flying skills of the pilots that are being trained. You can have a 20,000-hour corporate pilot and they've come in and they haven't been beyond 45 degrees since their flight instruction days. And the only way you can get there is to get into a high-performance airplane such as one of these and practice it.
The UAT program has actually been under development for over 5 years. It took that much time to develop the team and the assets and the program to a point of professionalism that it became one of a kind.
We've got a wide range of experience from corporate to airline to military to civilian air show.
If every day when you send your guys out the door to go fly your airplanes and move your people or your equipment around, if you want 100% that these guys can handle any kind of situation the airplane could get into, they will get that from this course.
We do something here that's kind of in a corner of aviation, but shouldn't be. It should be the heart of flight training.
I know people that have not survived it. And why have they not survived it? Well, then you start looking at the statistics, and perhaps 80% of all aircraft accidents are related to the human in the cockpit. And even when you throw in other things like weather, maintenance, ATC, emergencies, what influence does that human have on those?
Safety is the key here, and it's not only the safety of you and your aircraft, but the safety of those people sitting behind you in that aircraft. Our program targets the 100% rule. What you see, what you feel, will be as real as it gets, and that's of infinite value when it comes to making the right decision.
An unusual attitude situation can possibly be the time where you have to take the airplane to its absolute performance limit.
And the whole point here at the UAT, we're looking to make better, safer pilots.
To bring this level of experience in our unique program to the corporate side of aviation really becomes a tool that they might possibly use to save assets and save lives one day.